Hey, welcome back to Rosco Reviews. On today's episode, I have an interesting project with an air conditioner. On the compressor unit of this air conditioner, where the fan motor mounts to the top of the housing, the entire top of the housing has started to break and fall away. If we don't do something to correct the issue, the motor will collapse to the inside and it can cause all kinds of damage to the inside where the compressor is. So the ideal solution would be to replace the entire top of the housing by just ordering a new part. And you can follow these same steps in this video for removing the top and changing the fan motor over to the new top and replacing the top back on there. Or in the spirit of saving money, let's try to repair the old one. So before you do anything with the compressor unit, follow the power cord back to the wall and remove the disconnect. There's a disconnect right here. So we pulled that out. With that out, there's no power going to the unit, and we can go ahead and take the top of this off. This particular unit is made by Linux, and if you're wanting to just order a new top, you'll have to look up the serial number online and try to figure out what unit you have to order a new top piece. To remove the top of the housing, we're going to unscrew all of the hex head screws all the way around the top. Before we can lift the top off, the fan motor is wired in down here. So it's these three wires that are coming in from the top, a black one, an orange one, and a purple one. So the black one went to the control board, the purple one went to the capacitor here, and the orange one goes down to the relay switch. So I've removed those. So now the fan motor isn't connected to the rest of this anymore, so we should be able to lift the top off. To make it easier to try to repair where the metal is all split, I'm going to remove the fan motor. So we got 4 bolts here to remove the motor, and we should be able to weld this back together. Try to make this a little bit easier to get to. I'm going to remove the shroud off the back of this. Now we're looking at it from the back side. So this is where the motor was mounted on, and it is broken from here all the way around to here. So we're about 2/3 of the way almost through this thing. So I'm going to take a wire wheel and clean all this up, and then I'm going to try to weld it back together. After a wire wheel and a sanding wheel, I've got it cleaned up pretty good right around where it's split. Now I'm going to take a MIG welder. You need to clean it up really good first because it won't weld very well if it's not cleaned up. So we're going to clean up both sides, and then we're going to take a MIG welder and tack it back together, and then we'll seal it all up. It's been welded back together, and I've sanded it down, and I'll be the first to admit it's not real pretty, but it's solid, so I'll take it. It's going to need to be painted to protect it so that it doesn't just rust away over the next year. But we'll take it outside and paint it, and then we can put it all back together. I went with Rust-Oleum hammered, mostly because I had a can of this laying around, but also I think it will kind of match it a little bit, and if I'm just doing that middle part, maybe you won't really notice. With a couple coats of paint on it, it really looks pretty good. So let's get this thing put back together. When we put this back together, it's going to be exactly the way it came apart, only in reverse. So we'll first put the shroud onto the top cover, and then we'll mount the fan motor back to the top cover. And then we can place that whole thing back on top of the unit. Be careful not to pinch the wires when you're setting the top back on the unit. Now you can replace all those screws that go around the top cover. Okay, now you need to connect your fan wires back on. If you don't remember which ones they were, you should take a picture of them before you take them off. But the purple one, for me, it's the purple to the capacitor, the orange one to the switch, and the black one to the control board. All right, now we can fire it back up and give it a try. To get power back to the unit, you have to put this back in. Now the unit's powered back up. When powered back up, the unit came right back on and works just fine. With the top welded back together, it should be a lot stronger now. Hopefully we'll get several more years out of this unit. Hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you back here next time.